So today, we're taking a peek at Therm-a-Rest's latest sleeping pad, the Neoloft. Now the Neoloft is kind of a neat little concept and thought design process to it, because if you look at this from just the sheer size standpoint, this thing is 4.6 inches thick. You kind of think of Therm-a-Rest's like Mondo King series, which is probably the last sleeping pad I think I did a review on this channel. This takes all of the comforts of having a nice, thick, very cushiony setup with a sleeping pad. Of course, high R value as well. I think this is 4.7 on the R value rating. And then combines it into a very slim, as lightweight as you can get package for as cushiony and awesome as this thing is. I have not gotten a chance to look at it, touch it, or set it up or anything yet, so I am looking forward to doing this on this video. This is my first thoughts and setup of the Therm-a-Rest Neoloft. Now before we get set, this specific version of the Neoloft is the large version. They offer this in a regular wide, and a large version. Now the large version like this is, as you can see down below there, 2 pounds is how much it weighs, or 910 grams. Now you can also get, like I said, the regular or the regular wide. Now the regular is 22 inches wide, 73 inches long. When you go to the regular wide, it just makes that 22 inches wide go to 26 inches wide. Then the large is 26 inches wide and 78 inches long. The regular version, which would be the lightest version that this comes in, clocks in at 1 pound 9 ounces or 710 grams. The regular wide pumps that up to 1 pound 14 ounces or 850 grams, and then of course the large 2 pounds or 910 grams. So that's at least the sizes and of course weights that this guy comes in. Okay, so now I'm actually in, well, this is actually the MSR Hubba Hubba LT 3-person, which I actually just got done doing the setup video of. So if you're interested in this tent, check out that as well. But let's get this thing out of the box and see how she sets up in a tent. And this is the beautiful thing about this guy, is its size and weight is fantastic for what it is. I'm not going to put this up against a backcountry pad, right? Those get really, really light. So something right out of the gate, the bottom of this does have a little bit different fabric. As you can see, it's kind of a lighter color than the top. This is the color they call pumpkin. And there's, I was going to say, there's the pack. Pull it out here. We do have a alcohol wipe and some sealant, so that's good to have, so make sure you hold on to that. User guide and warranty, throw that over there. Actual stuff sack, so this is the smallest you're going to get it essentially for the most part, but there's the stuff sack that comes with it. And then this is the pump sack. Now the pump sack is something that I would definitely think about doing if you're looking at doing this. If you don't have yourself a little like electric pump, which I do have, but today we're using the stuff that comes with it. This makes it a lot easier to blow this up. Yes, you can blow directly into it. Not advised, just because of the amount of moisture you're going to get into the sleeping pad. You want your sleeping pads to last as long as possible. Try to keep as much moisture out of it as possible. So use the pump sack or a little electric pump instead of just blowing right into it. Valves. And this is what I love about the modern Therm-a-Rest systems, is the valves that they use. They're so much better than the older valves that they used to do. And of course, I'm going to take this guy off because I'm now in possession of it. It's mine. We have one valve here, one valve here. This one literally says in directly on the valve. This one literally says out directly on the valve. So you know, air goes out here, air goes in here. So make sure this is shut when you go to start pumping this guy up. And of course the in valve, we're going to want to make sure it is open to let air in. Makes sense. Pump sack. On the bottom of the pump sack, there is a little door. There we go. That door, which I do like to usually put my hand in here where I can get on the inside of it, right? That door is going to go directly on the lid, and actually is going to hold itself on this for the duration. So Let's see if I can show you real close up. You can see there's a little like ridge right there. This guy will click into place. It takes a second. There it goes. And now you can see it's attached, swivels around with it, but it doesn't come off. Now, of course, you can pull it off. Now, we just use the pump sack to essentially get it nice and loose, fill it up with air, cinch the top, and you can see the big bag of air now. I'm gonna pump that into the sleeping pad. One. Now I'm gonna speed this up and I'm gonna count how many pump sacks of air that I've gotta do to get this guy filled. Cue the music. Okay, we are done. Now that we're done, I can unhook the pump sack just by pulling and then turning the inlet valve closed. That took 5.5 pump sacks of air. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but a little trick that I kind of do is I get as much air in here as I can, and then I kind of just go, just blow a little air in there just to puff it up a little bit more, and then you're good to go. Also notice that the outlet valve that goes into the into the sleeping pad is on the side, so you are pushing against the ground, not pushing against the valve. So that's nice that it does that. Otherwise, now we have the Neoloft all full of air. Now, of course, you don't want to fill it too much because then it just becomes too rigid. But if you just kind of pay attention to it, you can always take that outlet valve and just bleed just a little bit of air out of it if you feel you're too full. What I like to do is I like to lay down on the sleeping pad to adjust it. This is a really comfortable sleeping pad. And of course now I'm gonna adjust a little bit. Oh yeah. So last year I was able to test out the Mondo King, and I love that sleeping pad. It is super awesome. It's super comfy. It's great, but you're not gonna take that backpack. You're not gonna take that anywhere but have that as a car camping pad. The Neoloft takes all those nice, thick, cushy pad pieces that you love and you miss as soon as you go backpacking because you're in this little, or if nothing else, an inch or an inch and a half inch pad. I would be willing to take the extra weight to use this because it's squishy. It's very, very comfortable. I could sleep on this and not have a ruined back in the morning. I'm not 20 anymore, so I'm willing to take a little bit of the weight on the back for comfort. I'd save weight in other ways, to be honest about it, because having a good night's sleep is key. However, the other thing about this specific pad is it's not just backpacking, right? This is a car camping pad too. It takes up literally a quarter of the room in my trunk than the Mondo King would. So this thing is pretty awesome in how much it packs down. And that's why I was really excited when they announced this product last year. It was kind of one of those yes, yes, and yes. Get the really nice, comfy, ultra light version of that thick pad. Perfect. So that is the Neoloft. Again, not really a full review. This is initial thoughts and of course setup of the pad. Like I said, the bottom does have a little bit different fabric, probably just kind of double thick, or just a more abrasive resistant fabric than the top, and the top's going to have that kind of little bit of a stretchy feel to it, which the bottom you really don't want to have that, right? You want to have it more rigid on the, whatever you're sleeping on. Of course, you want to make sure you're not sleeping on rocks or pointy sticks, things like that. But that's the Neoloft, and initial thoughts are awesome, really awesome. Now, of course, large version. I didn't need the large version, but if I'm using it more for a out of the trunk for the most part, I wanted to have something that was large enough for me, as well as for anybody of my family that would use it as well. So I decided to go with the large version. I think probably the regular wide would be probably my go-to, because that would just be as much weight as you needed it, right, to spend on it. But I like the wider version. It makes it a lot more comfortable. But if you're looking at saving weight, the regular is only 1 pound 9 ounces, so that's not bad. So that is the Therm-a-Rest Neoloft. Therm-a-Rest, you always impress me. So I always like that. So thank you for watching to the end of this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Of course, like I said, if you want to check out this tent, I do have the setup video and first thoughts on that one as well. Review videos will come in tow as they get used. Now that we're finally decently warm, things will start getting used more around here. So thanks for watching to the end. Catch you again soon.